Alright, Deus 2 public version 3.08. Now I showed some videos with previous versions that had problems, okay? And this problem here I'm going to show you has been resolved with the multi-frequency. Mono program though is going to behave somewhat different. I've got the 9-inch fast multi-frequency coil on this machine currently. I'll turn this camera off eventually and I'll put on the HF2 coil because I showed videos with both coils with this problem. This version doesn't have this problem, okay? A disclaimer here, I have paired a WSA2 XL and a WSA2 puck to this version without any problems. People with XP Deus 2s, before you do any updates on any of your components, I can't speak for a Mac machine, okay? I don't know jack shit about a Mac computer, but I can tell you, if you are using a Windows operating system, you better have all of the stuff disabled on that computer that might give you warnings for suspect sites, suspect devices, or whatever, because if you get an interrupt during an update procedure, you could brick your remote or your headphones. Alright, this has happened to me in about 3 weeks ago. Okay, one time I turned all that shit off on my computer. Alright, I don't usually go to strange places and look around much anyway. We'll show two programs on this machine. The mono program, we're in it currently. The frequency you employ using mono program could drive your meter behavior over a non-ferrous target. Its conductivity level could be a driver along with the frequency used. You see the quarter and you see the nickel. Now you see the coil is sitting there, okay? We're in reactivity 2.5, 36.3 kilohertz, and I'm in 3 tones, and I've got a tone break. You can hear both of these tones with a nickel giving the low tone. You hear that, right? Notice that ID though. That's not the ID of a quarter, is it? But you're getting the high tone on the quarter. If we hover the quarter, you clearly see an ID. Okay? We'll take the nickel away and just sweep the quarter. That is 36.3 kilohertz. Remember, the frequency also drives the ID of a target in mono program, okay? So we're sweeping again. So you see we don't get no quarter ID, but we're getting the high tone, okay? Now I'm going to let the frequency down to 4 kilohertz. Now we're at the lowest possible frequency in the mono program using the fast multi-frequency coil. Notice what happened when I exit over that nickel. See that? We can, if I get them a little closer together, we can hear the low tone, but we may get locked up on a higher conductor ID, okay? Now, we're going to transition over here to fast program. I think I've got it set up in 3 tones, okay? You hear the high tone, you hear the low tone, and the ID transitions very quickly, okay? Previous public versions, you wouldn't see this, okay? So let me turn the camera off. We'll put on the HF2 coil and have a look-see here. I've not looked at this, okay? I have looked at it with a prior private beta version though. I suspect it's still fixed in this version. Camera back on. We're in the Deus Mono at 13 kilohertz. That is the previous in this video position of that quarter in that nickel. Speed 2.5, the HF2 coil mono program. You hear the high tone, you hear the low tone. Notice I exited over that quarter. That's a nickel ID, okay? Just be mindful. Trust your ears and don't trust that meter using that mono program. We'll go to fast program. Okay, multi-frequency. You hear two distinct tones, a low and a high, and the ID transitions. Unlike previous public beta versions using this call and the fast multi-frequency call. Now, there was a disc problem where a nail's ID would change when you adjusted the disc on this machine. That has been resolved, okay? Now, all those videos I put up previous actually had the version number in the title, so I don't see any reason to take those down, okay? I could. I ain't got time today to do it, okay? Now, let me show you this here, because some people using a fast multi-frequency or an HF2 coil, you may spot this. XP is aware this will be fixed. I'm going to go in here. Now, I'm in the fast program, but you'll see this in all of them. All right, I'm in disc. You'll see it under the IR menu. You know, you can access this under the IR menu in Go field in Relic. I'm going to scroll over here. Pitch 1. Pitch 2, I just selected pitch 2, okay? When I go down here to the threshold menu, hit expert, notice what it says there. It says pitch 1. It should say pitch 2. XP is aware of this and they will fix this. If I go back up here and select pitch 1, select threshold, you see pitch 1. That is correct. So just don't get tripped up, okay? If you select pitch 2 from the menu and then you go to threshold, even though it says pitch 1, you'll be adjusting pitch 2, pitch audio for pitch, okay? That's going to conclude the video. It is sweltering hot out here. I don't get paid to do this, boys and girls. Try to help people out.